Today we're getting to something way deeper than clothes, grooming, and cologne. We're gonna break down 10 choices that can ruin a man's life. You see, one bad decision, it can set you back for years, whereas a smart one can elevate your entire life. So if you're a man who wants to move with purpose, build a better life, and avoid the traps that take many men out, stay tuned. And by the way, I can hear you wise guys in the comments section. One of those bad choices might be wearing that mint coat Jeff has on. Real funny. Now, if you're new here, welcome, Jeff, your Style O.G. On this channel, we discuss various men's lifestyle topics such as style, grooming, and dating. If any of all those topics interest you, I invite you to subscribe, tap the notification bell, and join us. And to my returning friends like Aaron Hinkle, salute. Now, first up on the list of 10 bad decisions that can ruin a man's life, we gotta start with one of the worst ones you can make. Don't choose the wrong woman. You want to talk about a bad choice that can give you financial damage, mental stress, and emotional headaches? Choose the wrong partner. The wrong woman can drain your energy, take you off your purpose, and stunt your growth. No doubt about it. You'll find yourself walking on eggshells, losing confidence, and being far behind on your goals. The wrong relationship doesn't just affect your heart. It can affect your health, your money, and your peace. And let's be real, success at work and with your style, it's all cool. But if you have chaos at home, it's not worth anything. So be intentional when choosing the woman you spend your time with, not impulsive. Choose a woman who brings peace to your life, not chaos. Now, next up, we have an all too common bad choice many men make. If you want to ruin your life, live above your means. If you want one of the fastest ways to risk your financial present and future, live above your means. I don't care how good it might look on the gram. If you're spending way more money than you bring in, it's a disaster. That flashy car, designer clothes, or all those nights dining out, they may feel good now, but when that debt comes in, the financial stress, the worry, and the lack of savings, it will catch up with you quickly. The smart man takes the time and realizes true style isn't about flexing. It's about being in control. It's about building wealth, not trying to look rich. So tighten up, budget wisely, and delay gratification. Because take it from me, no amount of drip is worth drowning in debt. Financial freedom starts with discipline, not desire. Now, next up on the list of 10 bad choices that can ruin a man's life, I have what I believe is a silent killer. If you want to ruin your life, get addicted to comfort. Comfort might feel good in the moment, but it robs you of your growth. That warm bed, easy job, or avoiding hard conversations, that's for guys who want to stay stagnant. It may sound and feel nice at the time, but it's actually keeping you stuck. You see, the wise man realizes that true growth comes with being uncomfortable. Greatness lives outside your comfort zone. Growth comes from pressure, struggle, and challenge. So if you're always choosing the easy way out, you're doing yourself a true disservice. Always choosing what's easy, you'll never build discipline, resilience, and confidence. Take it from me, comfort is the enemy of success. So if you want to get better, grow, or elevate, wake up earlier, lift a little harder, take the risk. Stop choosing the comfort zone. The more comfortable you are, the more stagnant you become. Speaking of decisions that can hinder your development, brings us to our next bad choice. One of the worst things you can do, allow your pride to block your growth. You see, pride, it will have you pretending to know things you really don't and being too stubborn to ask for help or advice. Not to mention you often find yourself burning bridges and having a huge problem admitting when you're wrong. And I get it, catering to your ego might feel good in the moment, but it's ruining your life over the long term. You see, a wise man stays humble, teachable, and open to other perspectives and connections. Pride often closes doors, but humility can open those same doors and open you up to opportunities. So don't let your need to look right get in the way of you getting right. I need you to understand true growth comes from vulnerability and strength and being open to learning, not posturing. Now, next up, we have a bad choice that can ruin your life that I like to fall under the category of true masculinity, or actually the opposite of it. If you want to ruin your life, ignore personal responsibility. You want to talk about one of the fastest ways to sabotage your entire life? Ignore your personal responsibility. When a man is constantly blaming others for missed opportunities, failures, and bad habits, he's actually giving away all his power. It's very difficult to grow if you're always pointing the finger. A true man, he takes accountability. Now, life is going to throw challenges your way, no doubt. But when you own your choices, own up to your mistakes, your effort, and your outcomes, that's where true strength lies. Responsibility builds maturity, strength, and confidence, where a lack of responsibility keeps you stuck. And I'm talking mentally, financially, and emotionally. So if you want to grow in your life and you're serious about leveling up as a man, one of the first things you need to do, take personal responsibility. Now, next up on the list of 10 bad choices that can ruin a man's life, I have something that's kind of tied into the comfort zone thing we talked about earlier. If you want to block your blessings, avoid difficult conversations. Now, I get it, avoiding difficult conversations might feel good in the short term, but in the long term, it can ruin relationships, not to mention opportunities and your peace of mind. You see, a real man, he faces the fire, and he's not afraid to be uncomfortable and tackle issues head on. But the key here, do it with respect. I'm not saying when you have a difficult conversation that you go in super aggressive. But what I am saying is when it's time to express your needs, establish your boundaries, get clarity, because dodging those conversations, it only makes the problem grow exponentially down the road. So what I want you to do, don't let fear keep you quiet. If you have a conversation you know you need to have, say what needs to be said with honesty, respect, and confidence. Now, next up, we have a bad choice that actually separates the boys from the men. If you want to ruin your life, let your emotions run you. Now, here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with having emotions. Yes, as a man, you have the full range of emotions human beings go through. You need to experience your emotions, not let them control you. What you want to do as a man, when something comes up and you're experiencing an emotion, the first thing you want to do, stop, think, and breathe. Because you see, the mature, successful man, he doesn't react to situations, he responds. Huge difference. Because here's the thing, every man deals with stress, frustration, and disappointment. But the difference between the successful man and the man who doesn't succeed, how you respond in those moments affects your present and your future. Emotional discipline builds better relationships, develops discipline, and leads to better decision making. So listen, have those emotions, but respond to them, don't react. Now, next up, we have a difficult decision that I will agree isn't easy to always make. But if you stay too long in this situation, it can ruin your life. I'm talking about staying in a dead-end job. If you want to talk about a decision that can affect your passion, your purpose, and your potential, it's staying in that dead-end job. Now, I get it. We all have bills to pay. But if that job isn't helping you towards your goals, helping you grow, learn, and move forward, it might be time to make a move. You see, you weren't built just to survive. If you're staying in a dead-end job, that's all you're doing, existing. If you stay too long, it would kill your motivation, your potential for making more money, and your growth. Not to mention hampering your confidence and wondering where all the time went. You see, a grown man takes ownership of his career and his calling. So if you feel like you're stuck, maybe it's time to build some higher level skills. Start a side hustle. Do have those ducks in a row. Don't stay just for a paycheck. Move with purpose. Now, next up on the list of 10 choices that can ruin a man's life, this one ties into one of the ones we did a couple steps ago, letting your emotions run you. Want to make sure you don't burn bridges. Now, I get it. Burning bridges oftentimes in the moment feels oh so good, but it's actually one of the worst decisions you can make. You see, life, it's about relationships. You never know who might hold the key to your next opportunity, your next job, your next learning experience, your next breakthrough, or your next blessing. Burning bridges, when you leave a job, a relationship, or walk away from a situation, that's not something you want to do. When you have these life-changing situations, do it with class and maturity. Don't let emotion torture connection you might find yourself needing down the road. When you burn that bridge today, you might be blocking your own future. So when it's time to make a major move in life, keep it player, not petty. Next up, we have one of the most important topics on today's whole list, in my opinion. If you want to ruin your life, refuse to forgive yourself and others. Now, I'm going to give you a statement that's not a Jeff original. Refusing to forgive is like drinking poison and expecting it to affect somebody else. See, holding on to either guilt or grudges is only weighing you down keeping you stuck, specifically stuck in the past, and it blocks your growth and your peace. A mature man, he understands forgiveness isn't about weakness. It's about strength. It's about healing. It's about moving forward. You see, you can't build a better future if you're letting emotional baggage from the past hold you back. And don't forget, sometimes the hardest person to forgive is forgiving yourself. Forgiving yourself for bad decisions, past mistakes. But if you keep punishing yourself for something you did yesterday, you'll never progress today and tomorrow. So the key thing is forgive who needs to be forgiven, whether it's somebody else or yourself. Let go, learn the lesson, and live. Okay, so there you have it. 10 bad choices that can ruin a man's life. Now do me a favor, let me know in the comment section any bad choices you believe the Style O.G family needs to avoid to have a better future. And if you enjoyed this video and found it informative, I highly recommend you check out a recent video I did about all the things I believe a man should never say sorry for. You can check it out right here.